Hello, my beautiful, magnificent, melanated family. It is a pleasure to be before you today for a little coffee talk. We're going to talk about breaking free and homeschooling our own way. My name is Jada Dixon, and I'm excited to get started. I am a woman of faith, filled with grace and mercy. And I stress that because, as you'll see throughout this coffee talk, we'll need a whole lot of grace and mercy. So hopefully you're along for the ride. I'm also a wife of 12 years to my loving husband, Ben Dixon, a mom of three. I have a 4-year-old, a 9-year-old, and an 11-year-old preteen. I'm not ready. Lastly, I'm an entrepreneur. I like to say that I'm a mompreneur because it's kind of a mixture of the two, where I'm doing things that will incorporate or has incorporated my kids. So those are some of my titles. Won't bore you with all the rest. But for the sake of this conversation, let's get started. So this is a coffee talk, right? So go ahead. You got about 30 seconds to grab your lovely little, you love my coffee mug. It has a beautiful black and queen on there. You could feel free. I have apple juice. So feel free to drink coffee, tea, juice, water, whatever you want to drink. It's totally up to you. There is no judgment. I will, however, say that I am a Southern woman. So as my disclaimer, you will hear some y'alls, childs, listen, all of the above, because that's how I express myself. I am a person who is full of joy and excitement and love. And so to have the opportunity to talk about something that I hold dear to my heart is amazing, 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 amazing. So hopefully you have your beverage of choice and we're going to move forward. So why are we here? We are here to talk about how our family, my family, broke free, as well as motivate you to break free and homeschool your way. That's right, your way. Not anybody else's way, your way. However that may look, it is yours. And lastly, we're going to do a little celebration. We're going to celebrate the journey of homeschooling because we are in the thick of it. We are in the midst of it. Yet we are choosing to invest in our kids, in our generation to come. And so it's always, always, always good to celebrate what you were doing and kind of give you that reboost, that reignition into being a homeschool parent or a homeschool educator. Now, I will say that these things are not totally in order. And the reason that is just because they kind of maneuver and twist and turn together. So if you'll take the ride with me, we're gonna go ahead and get started. So as you see here in the picture, this is the Dixon Academy of Excellence. That's my husband, Ben, and our 3 kids who are a part of our homeschool. What's our homeschool story? Why did we take the leap? Well, let me first off start by saying that we had about 3 years in the traditional public school system, the brick and mortar, where our oldest, his last year was 3rd grade, and my daughter's real last year, it's hard to tell with the pandemic, but her real last year was 1st grade. And so we were those parents. We showed up, we were present, we went to all their activities, whether it be field trips, room mom, room dad, uh, serving with the PTA, serving on the board of the PTA, making sure that the teachers knew, the liaisons knew that who we were. They had all our contact information. We were very present and invested and interested in our kids' education. But what we found is that there were still some inconsistencies that didn't quite work for us, as well as bullying, which really affected the emotional aspect of my kids, and in particular my son. We saw a uh, change in him where he would be frustrated and angry. He wanted to do things that he normally wouldn't do. Nothing bad, but just he was changing who he was to fit in because he was being bullied. Um, some of the curriculum wasn't what we wanted it to be. Case in point, history. Don't need to go into detail with all of that. But you can imagine just dialing down all that Blacks have done and contributed to U.S. history into 28 days in February with a brief mention of how we came to the United States, that what we call today as the United States, by way of being enslaved. Next, we had some administration. Remember I said we were there for about 3 years. And so with that, the vice principal and principal changed twice. And it's, for me and for my husband, it was hard for us to grasp the idea of that quick of a change and understanding what the leadership expected, not only for the teachers, the parents, and the staff, but for the kids. So it was really confusing to say the least. And when we made that decision to homeschool, yet again there was another administration change, and so we were secure in our thoughts in changing schools. And then lastly, in the midst of switching to homeschooling and not feeling as confident, I wasn't free just yet, we decided to entertain the idea of the state virtual academy. And at first it was a good idea, and then we quickly saw how some of the expectations of the parents as well as the students was unrealistic, daunting, and frustrating, just to be quite honest. And so those are the things that contributed to our story and why we've finally decided to make a full leap into homeschooling our kids by way of Dixon Academy of Excellence. So as we are talking about the change and the switch to homeschooling, y'all, I misunderstood my assignment. Come with me, walk with me through this experience. First thing was, I felt guilty for making the decision to homeschool. My kids, although they had their ebbs and flows, they wanted to stay in school because they wanted their friends. They enjoyed hanging out with some of their classmates. In addition to that, when I made the decision along with my husband to homeschool, family and friends were like, "You sure you want to do that? You know, are you positive? Like, I don't know anybody, a Black person who does, homeschooling." And so, as you could tell, I'm the only one in my circle who is homeschooling. So it could be isolating, it could be frustrating. And it was kind of like a double whammy as to how I can do this. I didn't have confidence to start, and now I have families and friends questioning, am I sure I want to do this? Which translated to me as, you didn't go to school for this. I don't know if you should be teaching your kids. Next, I was mirroring my homeschool after other homeschooling family, because there is so much information when it comes to homeschooling as it relates to your state laws and filing your letter of intent, as well as any legal things that you need to be aware of as you homeschool your students. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to find someone on Facebook, out of a Facebook group, and I'm going to mirror what they're doing. Now, it wasn't all bad. I won't say that it wasn't all bad, but what I quickly realized is that, which is the last point, is that my kids are individual people. I was still stuck in how the school did everything, and it was a one-stop shop. So I had to remind myself again that we have created this space to look at the kids as individuals and figure out their learning style and their likes. And so, hopefully this will help you break free. But it is a learning experience. It's a continuous learning experience. But these are some of the things where I did not understand my assignment. So I encourage you to think about those things. And so by not understanding my assignment, I was frustrated, aggravated, had lack of motivation, and I didn't know what to do. I didn't know where to go. I didn't know where to turn. Once again, I'm in the circle by myself. Um, it was frustrating. I have so many stories, trial and error that the list could go on and on and on. But what I want to leave you with is this, and what I finally figured out for myself is I have been uniquely assigned to your child or your children. Our assignment has called us to help our children navigate the journey of life. No matter your title, no matter whether you're mom, dad, aunt, uncle, brother, sister, cousin, um, legal guardian, whatever it may be, you were uniquely assigned to this child or these children for the purpose of helping them throughout this journey of life. And as a home educator and parent, know that you have all that you need within you for your child's success. What does that mean? I want to tell you what it means and what it does not mean. What it means is if you are able to research, if you are able to ask the right questions, if you are able to connect with people along the way, whether it be through Facebook, whether it be through other platforms outside of Facebook, and actually true moments. January of this year, January of 2022, I said, okay, listen, there has got to be something different. There's got to be something out there that can give me my footing, my foundation. And oddly enough, I was searching, and I found this event, and it was being held by a homeschooling mom that moderates a book club. She was moderating this panel discussion, which happened to be the Black Family Homeschool platform. It was a panel discussion, and there were about 6 women on there sharing their experience as an educator, as a parent, homeschool moms that have graduated their homeschoolers. And I'm like, man, I've hit the jackpot. This is where I need to be. And I was just taking notes. They gave information that spoke to my heart. They looked like me. They understood the struggle of being Black homeschoolers in today's society. And it gave me a little bit more satisfaction as to say, okay, I can do this. Because prior to that, I was like, I can't do this. I can't do this. I can't do this. So yeah, that's my truth moment. It's really within you, because you're learning and you're getting to know your child and what the good things that they have to offer to society, that you can help them navigate it. You don't have to be the expert in every subject. Let me say that again. You do not have to be the expert in every subject. However, asking the right questions, connecting with other Black homeschoolers, and building your village is going to be key in this journey. Whether you're thinking about homeschooling, whether you are new to homeschooling, like myself, or whether you're seasoned and been doing this homeschool thing for a minute, it's always good to have that connection. And I will say, having that connection as well has allowed me to release some of the stress and anxiety, because once again, isolation is not the best thing. And so you're thinking, you're doing this wrong, things are not going right. But then you may have another homeschool parent that is going through the same exact thing. So you can relate with each other, and then you can figure it out with each other, and you can motivate each other. So it's always, always good to connect with someone that is like-minded. Frustration into learning experience. So we've talked about how, switching from a traditional setting to a homeschool setting. We talked about how frustrating it could be. We talked about how hard it could be for the kids and for your family and friends. But one thing I also had to think about was and learn is that homeschool is not the same as traditional public and private school. Transparency. I literally mirrored originally my homeschool like the traditional school. So I would do the 8 to 2. I would do the lunch around 11ish. We would do specials. We do all these different things. I was just mirroring it after the school, because in my mindset, that's what it was, but at home. And we moved from dining room, bedroom, whatever it may be, trying to set up and figure it out. And then I realized that's not the case. So what happened next? Once I had that realization that homeschooling does not equal the traditional brick and mortar private and public school, what does that mean? Well, in order for us, my family, to be successful and to stay free and to continue to go on the route that we want to go as far as being free and handling homeschool our way, we had to first deschool. Deschooling is something that I learned about by way of, asking those questions, doing the research, and it's that time period, and it depends on your family, however you want to do it, however long you want to do it. It is a time period where you decompress, you kind of relax, and figure out what you want your school to look like. So that's taking out the strenuous structure. That's possibly taking out, the time in which you do certain subjects, or whether or not you're going to do certain subjects every day. It's totally up to you. It's taking that pressure off and figuring out and regrouping, which leads me to the next one, to restructure what your homeschool is going to look like. And with restructuring, that is a prime opportunity to not only include your thoughts about what the homeschooling should look like, but also what your kids would benefit, strive, and thrive by way of your homeschool. We've also thought about, for my husband and I, we want to have independent critical thinkers who can create their own paths independent of us. So how do we do that? We start thinking about, well, maybe we'll do parent-led, units or subjects or activities, and then let them do student-led activities of things of their interest. So it's a partnership between parents and the kids, so that everybody is excited, everybody's engaged, everybody's agreeing to kind of share that journey with each other. So once we figured out restructuring and what that looks like, we moved into finally outsourcing. I wouldn't recommend, or I wouldn't, for our family, we didn't choose to outsource first before restructuring, because we needed to have a firm foundation as to what we wanted out of our homeschool. So once we did that, then we outsourced. And when I tell you, that was the best decision once again, remember in the previous slide, I said you don't have to be an expert on everything. Well, this is where outsourcing comes into play. You may have educators in your family. You may have persons who are advanced in engineering or the arts or architecture or cosmetology, whatever it may be. You can utilize those individuals to teach a lesson, to teach a unit on science, life science, chemistry, biology, history, language, whatever it may be. And if you don't have anybody, I'm once again connecting with the other homeschoolers. That may be an opportunity, as well as there are platforms like I think Varsity Outsource, things of that nature that you can utilize to engage and kind of take some of that time period away from you, and then allowing the kids to engage with other kids and or other parents, teachers, or professionals. So hopefully through this whole coffee talk, while you were sipping, well, I'm sipping on my apple juice, you were picking up what I'm saying and figuring out ways to break free for you and your family to make sure that your homeschool is what you want it to be. And in that, we figure out, well, what is breaking free? Breaking free is when we have decided to break from an educational system that was never designed for us to thrive. We have a chance to foster a lasting and loving relationship with our children, because the reality is they're not going to stop growing. They're going to keep growing, they're going to get bigger, and eventually they're going to leave the nest. And so we want to make sure that every moment counts. We also have the opportunity to change the narrative of our history to show our contributions, not limited to February and or slavery. We are putting things into place that will reach the next generation and the generation after that, and then it continues into a legacy. That's how we break free. We are creating the next generation of thinkers, inventors, engineers, doctors, artists, and the list goes on and on and on. This is what breaking free means to our family. Feel free to toss, turn, edit, tweak, whatever it may be, what that means for your family. But breaking free is breaking free from the norm, breaking free from what is expected by society as to how you should homeschool. It's your homeschool. It's your homeschool. Homeschooling your way. Once again, I can't stress it enough. You have everything you need to create a space for your child to thrive. You are uniquely and wonderfully assigned for your children. Stand in it, walk in it, move in it, dance. Dance in it, live in it, breathe in it. It's your homeschool. It's your homeschool. So even if those who may not understand it, may not grasp the concept, it's okay. It was never their assignment. They were not assigned to your child or your children. You were. So it is up to you to determine what that homeschool looks like. I approve this message. So I think, yeah, we're at the time where it is to celebrate you. The award goes to you. Why should we celebrate? Why should we celebrate? I'll tell you why. You've made the decision. We've made the decision to invest in our family. We're not merely just teaching our kids. We are investing in the family, the Black family. We are creating a legacy for generations to come. One, to allow our families to come together, be together, learn together, maneuver together, understand each other. We are also investing in our culture, our way of living, our experience as a people. And whether you know it or not, by you investing in your family and creating that space and opportunity for your family to thrive and be the best that they can be, you are, one, understanding your assignments, but also by understanding your assignment, you are also standing in the gap for others who, once again, remember what I said earlier, there are going to be some friends and family who don't understand, who don't get it. But once they see you experience this thing you call homeschooling, you may be surprised. You may be surprised. And so I encourage you to celebrate who you are, celebrate your family, and then also celebrate the fact that you are investing your time in educating yourself. Where are we today? What are we doing today? We are attending the Black Family Homeschool Educators and Scholars Virtual Teach-In. Keyword, teach-in. You are taking the time out of your schedule to attend these coffee talks and these discussions for the sake of your family. So you absolutely should be celebrated, especially when you are the superintendent, the principal, the vice principal, the cafeteria person, the nurse, the counselor, the what else? The field trip chaperone and coordinator. So go ahead and nominate yourself, elect yourself, and accept your award. I'm here for it. Accept your award, because now you have what you need. It's always been within you. I'm just here trying to pull it out of you. It's always been within you to break free and to homeschool your way. Whether you're thinking about it, whether you are new to it, and whether you are seasoned in the homeschool way of life, take that time to honor yourself. You consciously made the decision to be here, to stand up and be present in your family, invest in your kids, all of that. So if nobody else tells you, I am telling you, we are family now. So listen, if we have some celebrations outside of this, I accept a couple of them if you want to invite me. Oh, I really enjoyed my time here, but I can't end this without action steps. So don't leave it here. Stand in the gap for those who are considering homeschool. Spread the freedom and the knowledge. That's why I'm so excited about being able to have this opportunity to deliver this coffee talk centered around breaking free and homeschooling your way. Because I feel like if we share the information, then by family, by Black family, we will all be free and be able to homeschool our way. Encourage those who have been homeschooling for years and may be tired. You just never know. You just never know. So those are your action steps. I enjoyed my time with you all. And with that, I say thank you, my beautiful, Blacknificent, and blessed Black family. Thank you.